Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Captain's Table. I am your host, Captain B-Nard, here to talk to you guys today about the RoDL4, that is the Rocket Draft League Season 4. So this was the announcement that I alluded to at the end of the last video. So I did rejoin the Rocket Draft League for Season 4, which is going to be coming up pretty soon. I know Season 3 ended not that long ago, but they are going to be hurrying into Season 4, and we did rejoin for that. So I'm going to do another overview and team preview video here for that league. So I am pretty excited to be back in the league. I know it hasn't been that long since Season 3 concluded, and unfortunately we didn't quite get the result that we were looking for in Season 3. Didn't even make the playoffs with a 5-7 record. We were in that fabled ninth seed in the league, but hoping to do better this time around for sure. I want to go over a couple of changes that they've made to the league since last season, just some minor stuff, and then we're going to get into the team that I drafted as per the usual. So, most of the stuff is going to stay pretty much the same in this season of the league as it was in the last season of the league. We are going to, be drafting our teams via a point system similarly, although a couple of Pokemon and point tiers changed. We do now have a higher point cap to draft Pokemon with, which is kind of nice in a way, so we can add some more power to the teams. And the free agency changed a little bit, where we have, I believe, less free agent transactions throughout the season, which is fine since we don't really use too many of them. But just little tweaks here and there about that. But other than that, the league is going to be pretty much the same rules as it was last time. We are going to have 16 teams in the league, 2 conferences, 4 divisions, a 12-week season, which means that for the next couple of months, all of the battles you guys are going to be getting here from me are going to be league battles once again. I do find people are sometimes more interested in those, especially if it's against people who are known or that sort of thing. But it should be an exciting league. I believe this time around we have half of the people in the league, one of which is myself, are people returning from last season, and then another half are new players. So I do have a little bit of familiarity with the league now after being in for one season, and some of the players and all that kind of stuff. So definitely, I think we're going to have a little bit better of a chance at doing good this time around. I also do like the team that I drafted this time around a little bit better than what I was able to put together last time. So, but other than that, the league is going to run pretty much the same as it did last season. So, like I said, I am definitely looking forward to giving this a shot here, season 4 of the Rocket Draft League, and hopefully we can put something together and do better this time than we did last time. That's what I'm hoping for. So, without further ado, we are going to show you guys the team. So here we go. This is the RoDL4 Philadelphia Pidgeys. Of course, my team, the Philadelphia Pidgeys, back in action as usual. Fly, Pidgeys, fly. And so I'm going to go through the team here and kind of talk a little bit about each Pokemon and why I drafted it, what I'm hoping to accomplish with it, and how to use it, and that kind of stuff. So, starting off at the top, my first round pick here, as you can see, is Urshifu single strike form. That is the dual type fighting dark variant of the Pokemon. So, a Pokemon that is a complete and utter powerhouse, as you guys probably know, and also a Pokemon that has been discussed for getting banned from this league, I believe, in several other leagues as well, because it is just such a powerhouse. So I decided to draft this guy, not only because it's such a powerhouse, but also because I really do like this Pokemon quite a lot. I think one of the shortcomings that I had last season with my team here in the RODL was that I didn't have a centerpiece to the team. I didn't have something that was like an MVP, a heavy hitter that I could really count on in games. I had a more middle of the road rounded team, which is good in its own way, but I feel like I didn't have the power necessary to uh, really do what I wanted to do in a lot of situations last season. So I'm hoping with Urshifu Single Strike, I'll be able to accomplish that. It is a top shelf Pokemon. I paid, top price for it on the draft board. And actually, that was one other thing I did want to mention in this draft league. I actually, I believe, was number third on the draft order, so that was the best that I've ever had in any draft league that I've been in. Which, of course, this is my fourth draft league that I've been in. So, third on the board is really good. Obviously, it's really high at the top, and with the snaking draft as this is, you can kind of pair things together. So I am really happy with what I put together here, and that all starts with Urshifu Single Strike. So just an absolute powerhouse of a Pokemon. Of course, legendary released from the Isle of Armor DLC. So. That is going to kind of be the starting point of the team, and I'm definitely hoping to do big things with it. It is a great addition. So, moving along, then of course we have the number two pick. You already know what it is. It is Goodra. That is the unofficial, now turned official team captain of the Philadelphia Pidgeys. My only Pokemon that I've had on every rendition of every team that I've ever used in Draft League, the Goodra. So, a Pokemon I'm very familiar with, obviously. An incredible Pokemon defensively, special defense virtually unmatched. Just an absolutely awesome Pokemon, and one that I've just grown so accustomed to using that I couldn't imagine playing a draft league without it. It has been my number two draft pick in every single draft league that I've been in, so I was not about to break tradition this time around, and came up big for me last season in a couple of situations. Definitely hoping for the same this time around. And just a Pokemon I really like to use. It's always a reliable asset. So, yeah, I am happy that I snared that back. I wasn't too worried that anyone was going to draft it so early, but there was that little bit of a thought in the back of my mind, but I am glad that that didn't happen because, like I said, I can't imagine a Philadelphia Pidgeys without Goodra. That is why I went as far as to actually put its picture on the board here. The team captain of the Philadelphia Pidgeys. You guys will know that if you've been following me and or my draft league games. That is what Goodra is to the Philadelphia Pidgeys. So definitely happy to have that back on board. Coming up next, the number three pick, we have, of course, the Jellicent. So, Jellicent was a former Philadelphia Pidgey from the NGDL4 championship winning team, actually, Philadelphia Pidgeys. So, had to throw that in there once again, of course. But yeah, Jellicent, Water Ghost, of course, incredibly great type combination, very versatile. Just a really good Pokemon defensively, type wise, has a nice move pool as well, and just a lot of resistances and immunities, very useful. I was trying to a little bit with this team, I will say, kind of channel the NGDL4 Pidgeys, since that team was so successful, which you'll see with another pick a little down the list. But yeah, I really like Jellicent. It is a great Pokemon. I was trying to build after I grabbed that Urshifu. I was trying to build the bulk up around it a little bit, to try and balance the team out. Because again, as I've mentioned many times in the past, I believe balance is really the key to a successful draft team. So, Jellicent definitely. An awesome addition in that capacity. It did do a lot of work in the NGDL4 Pidgeys, so definitely hoping that I can put in some work with it this time around as well. So, moving along, then my number 4 pick that I grabbed is Arcanine. So, Arcanine is a Pokemon that I've actually really wanted to draft for quite some time, and I just never got the opportunity to do it because it usually flies off the draft board pretty fast. Because it is a very popular Pokemon in Draft League because it is just very good, very versatile. Is a kind of a little bit of it's like a mid to high grade point value Pokemon. But it usually flies off the board pretty fast. But I was able to grab it here as the 4th pick, so really happy that I got that. Another Pokemon that is actually very good defensively, but also pretty fast too. So can definitely put in a lot of work. In that regard, nice attack, and yeah, of course, the Intimidate being a key feature of Arcanine as well. So, really, definitely glad to have that on board. To putting the team together, trying to balance everything out, and make everything as well balanced as possible. So yeah, Arcanine is an awesome addition. Like I said, probably as early back as my first draft league, I was wanting to draft Arcanine just because it is just such a solid draft Pokemon to have. But I was not able to acquire it, as I said before. Typically because of having a much lower number in the draft and not wanting to grab it like in one of the first couple of rounds, and then it was gone by the time I was going to get to it. So not the case this time. Very happy about that, that I was able to snare that. So moving along, we get to the number 5 pick again, and that is going to be Cavalier. So this is another Pokemon that I've thought about drafting for a while as a very good steel type, dual type bug steel, of course, leaving it with only that singular weakness to fire. But I've had other steel type options that I'd prefer in every other draft that I did, so I never ended up grabbing it. But this time around, because a couple of the other steel types that I was considering flew off the board pretty fast, I was pretty convinced that this was going to be the time to bring on Cavalier. So a very good Pokemon, bulky and hits like a truck as well. So a really good Pokemon to have. Nice coverage and whatnot as well. So I was glad that I was able to pick that up, something that I've wanted to give a shot for quite a while again. And I see I could definitely do good things, big things for the team. Of course, counterbalancing a lot of the weaknesses and resistances and all that kind of stuff, as of course balance being the key to creating a successful draft team. So really happy that I was able to grab that in the as the 5th pick. Then moving on to the 6th pick, we are going to have Comfey. So this is another Pokemon again, similarly to Arcanine, and I feel that I might say that about a lot of these Pokemon actually, are Pokemon that I've wanted to use in a draft league for quite some time, but I've never been able to get my hands on them because they've been drafted too soon. Comfey is a prime example of that. I really wanted to use Comfey actually in the past couple of drafts and was not able to get it because it just flew off the board. It is a really good lower point value pick. Really nice bulk and move pool, and of course the feature being the ability triage, giving that priority to all healing moves. So pick, so I was able to grab it. So I am very happy about that. I'm looking forward to making that do some good things as well. Definitely some good options, utility with that guy as well. So really happy about being able to grab that. So then number 7 pick, we have Rydon. So the rock ground dual type, of course, old school Pokemon. Another Pokemon that I've actually been meaning to give Rydon a shot on my casual teams, and I just recently the team that I've just been using recently actually in free battles started to use a Rydon, and I really liked it. It put in a lot of work in a lot of my games. For those of you who've followed me or have been watching my games will know it did put in a lot of work, so I was happy that I could grab this guy too. Um, Not particularly surprised that it was still available as the seventh pick, but I'm very happy that it was because I did want that nice rock ground typing to kind of round out a couple of the other weaknesses and resistances on the team. So, really happy that I could grab that. Very bulky, especially when you throw that Eviolite on there. So, one of the better Eviolite users for sure. So, really glad that I was able to grab that and bring it on board. And coming in at number 8, or I should say the 8th pick on the team, is going to be another familiar face from that NGDL4 championship winning Philadelphia Pidgeys team, and that is Cresselia. So, a very, very bulky Pokemon, to say the absolute least. An awesome Pokemon, one that I had great success with back in that NGDL4 season. So, again, like I said, trying to channel a little bit of that NGDL4 Philadelphia Pidgeys there by bringing Cresselia back. Really glad that I was able to grab that so late in the draft. Just a Pokemon that I not only really like, but also a Pokemon that is incredibly bulky. Like I said, this thing is just an absolute beast when it comes to bulk. Got decent power and coverage too, and utility as well. So just an awesome Pokemon to have. And like I said, I'm very happy that I was able to grab it so late in the draft and bring it back on to kind of again balance out a couple more of the weaknesses and resistances on the team. So really happy about that. Then as the 9th pick, I grabbed Cramorant. So this is a Pokemon that I actually really wanted to grab last season, but I at the end of the draft, I either didn't have the point cap or I just it wasn't fitting with what I had that I had already put together with the team. It just wouldn't have been a good fit, so I decided against it. And then, believe it or not, all throughout the season, last season, the RoDL3. I was heavily considering transacting for Cramorant and bringing it onto the team because I really like what Cramorant brings to the table. Of course, being a dual type water flying and having access to some good utility, having a pretty nice move pool overall actually, and also having that very unique ability, that Gulp Missile, which will deal damage to an opposing Pokemon after it gets hit. So, and will either lower its defense or paralyze it. So, Cramorant is a really unique Pokemon. Actually, it might be one of my more favored Pokemon from Gen 8. I really like it a lot. So, I'm glad that I was able to grab that. Again, I wasn't really in fear that anyone else was going to draft it, but I'm really happy that I was able to get it so late in the draft because it is a very unique Pokemon, and I really am looking forward to trying to make it do something here for the Pidgeys in this season. Really nice Pokemon. And then last but certainly not least, as the 10th pick, we have Avalog. So this is kind of the one to finish the team off here in the draft. And at this point, honestly, I had pretty much everything I wanted, with the exception of a couple snipes, but that's just kind of the way that Draft League goes. But Avalog is a Pokemon that does have some good utility. It has some good power. Amazing defense stat on this thing. Can withstand physical hits despite its poor typing. So it is another Pokemon that I had actually considered using in draft leagues past, but just couldn't find room for. So I decided that the time was going to be now on this team to go ahead and bring it on. So that rounds out the team. I have to say, looking at the team as a whole, I am very happy with how this team came together. Like I said, there were a couple of Pokemon that I wanted that kind of got sniped out from under me. But like I said, that's kind of just part of the way that draft league works. So I was, like I said, overall I got most of the stuff that I wanted, and I feel like the team came together really well. This season of the Philadelphia Pidgeys, I think, is a lot about bringing on Pokemon that I had wanted to bring on for quite some time, but had not been able to do so. So specifically, the Arcanine, the Comfey, and even the Cramorant are Pokemon that I really wanted to bring on to the Philadelphia Pidgeys in seasons past of draft leagues, but just wasn't able to get there for one reason or another, either them being drafted first or just not fitting what I had going on with the rest of the team. But this time around, we have those Pokemon. We also have some awesome returning faces like the Goodra, the Jellicent, the Cresselia. We have absolute powerhouses like the Urshifu. So overall, like I said, I'm very happy with the way that this team came together. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it might be quite as stronger as the NGDL4 Philadelphia Pidgeys. Of course, that championship team. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but can't help myself. But yeah, I definitely like this team better than what I was able to put together last season with the RoDL3. Not that I dislike that team, because I didn't dislike it, but I think that I definitely put something together that was a little bit stronger this time around. So I am pretty happy with that combination that I was able to acquire here. So yeah, that is about it for the team. So again, I am very excited to begin using this team in the season 4 of the Rocket Draft League. That is going to be coming your way within the next couple of weeks. So we actually finished the draft early, much like we did last season in the RoDL3. But the powers that be decided we were not going to start the season early, despite ending the draft early. So we're going to have a little bit of downtime here before we get week 1 underway. That's actually not a bad thing, because that'll give me a chance to kind of strategize and whatnot with these Pokemon and kind of prep for week 1 pretty extensively. I am pretty happy about that in a way. Also gives me a chance to kind of make this video, which I did. So I am pretty happy about that. I will say I'm definitely looking forward to the season. Again, there are a lot of Pokemon that I drafted on this team that I've wanted to use in a draft league for a while. So I'm really excited to see what I can do with these guys. And then, of course, we do have quite a few Pokemon that I have some extensive experience with, so I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to rely on those guys to definitely toe the line and put in some good work as it has been in the past. So yeah, I'm hopeful that I can try to find some redemption this season. That's the other thing that I wanted to mention is I wasn't particularly happy with the performance last season of myself and the team. I believe, mention this when we did the recap video of the RoDL3. I felt like we definitely could have done better. I definitely could have done better in last season of this league, and I was kind of disappointed that we didn't make it to the playoffs, because in every draft league that I join, that is really the benchmark for whether or not I'm content or not, is if I can at least make it to the playoffs. Then I can say, okay, I did well, and I can be happy with my performance, with my record, with my team, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we did fall short of that mark last season, just barely. Again, we came in at ninth place with that 5-7 record. So definitely, if we could have picked up one more win or so, we definitely would have got in, and who knows what would have happened from there. But hopefully we can find some redemption this season. That is actually one other thing that I almost forgot to mention, probably the biggest. I don't know how I could have forgot, but the biggest change here in the RoDL4 that we made is that we are not using the Wi-Fi timer anymore. So that was a big issue for a lot of coaches, myself included, last season in the RoDL3, was the 20-minute game timer. So we've actually migrated over to the land timer this season. So I really don't have much experience at all with the land timer, but the way that it works is that the game itself has no time limit on it, but each player has a 10-minute action time limit on it. That's the way that this is going to work. So in other words, I will have 10 minutes per game to make any play or any decision that I have to make, deciding whether to attack, switch, all that kind of stuff. As well, my opponent will have their own individual 10-minute timer as well. And now, if one of us runs out of time, we will actually automatically lose the game. So that is a little bit of an intimidation factor there. That is definitely something we're going to have to look out for. Can't have too many turns where we're taking a lot of time to think about moves. It's kind of like having a timer in chess, essentially. It's like speed chess almost, I guess you would say. So it's definitely going to shake things up this season with the land timer. I'm hoping that it'll play to our advantage because, as I mentioned, kind of extensively in the past in the RoDL3, the 20-minute game timer was definitely a source of angst and anguish for the Philadelphia Pidgeys, and in quite a few cases led to losses. So hoping that will not be the case with the land timer this season. It is definitely going to be something we're going to have to work with because like I said, I have actually never played a game with a land timer, so I'm definitely going to have to adjust to that if I want to be successful. Definitely going to have to make plays a little more quickly rather than mulling them over for any prolonged period of time. But I think it's definitely something that could be a positive thing in the league. Hopefully, so many matches will not end with a with so many Pokemon still left on the board. Hopefully, so many matches will not go to time as they have in the last season. So, I do feel confident it is going to be a positive force here in this season of the league, but we will go ahead and see what happens. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new videos in the future. Like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a delay on getting the season started, but I will be turning those battles out as soon as they happen for you guys. And yeah, hopefully we can do good here in the RoDL4 Fly Pidgeys Fly. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.